Hey guys, thanks for joining the channel. In this video, I'm comparing the iPhone 13 mini with the Galaxy Z Flip 3 5G. Both are great devices, but very different devices as well. Let's go ahead and get into it. But before that, I'd like for you to consider subscribing to the channel. I do a lot of these comparison videos. It's my hobby. And let's go ahead and get started. So the two biggest highlights and features of these phones is as follows. The iPhone 13 mini is the flagship phone, but at a smaller size. The Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 3 5G is a phone that offers the best of both worlds, a big flagship level type device with great specs, but also offers a portability when you fold it in half, and it just feels cool, and it's a cool form factor. That's the two biggest things out of these devices. So let's get into more heavy specs here, then I'll give you my overall opinion about these two devices. So one big important thing is the price. iPhone 13 mini comes in with a price of $700 or $730 if you get it unlocked. The Galaxy Z Flip 3 is interesting because the full price is $1,000, which is not too bad for a new technology in folding phones. But I'm going to be also comparing it at $600 because that's what it cost on Boost Mobile, brand new, with no contract, no credit check, or any of that stuff. So you have a $700 device versus a $600 folding device, and both of these are feature packed. Let's get more into it. So both have 5G, so that's a given. You got fast speeds, you got great fast downloading and uploading and smooth video watching and all that good stuff. So it's a tie right there. Next is the size, and this is where it gets interesting. The iPhone 13 mini is a very, very small phone. It weighs in at less than 5 ounces, 5 inches tall, 2.5 inches wide, 0.3 inches thick. Now the Z Flip 3, remember there's two form factors here, folded and unfolded. Unfolded, the phone is pretty much your standard Android phone. It's going to be bigger than the iPhone 13 mini. But when it's folded, it's half the size. So it's going to stay the same width, but the overall height, it's going to be more of a square. So it's going to fit way more comfortably in the pockets. And it's also lightweight as well. Even though it's heavier than the mini, it's at 6.5 ounces. So it's a normal phone, but it folds up very, very nicely. Build quality. 13 mini, glass front, glass back, aluminum frame, very nice. Z Flip 3, plastic front, glass back, Gorilla Glass Victus, and aluminum frame. So it's still going to feel very premium there. So I say they're both tied in the premium build department. For the SIM cards, they both have a nano SIM card slot, and also they have an eSIM, which is great. Not a lot of devices have that, only Pixels, iPhones, some Samsung, some Motorola's. And that means you can have 2 different phone numbers, 2 different data plans, and also have the flexibility of activating the phone without getting a physical SIM card from the store. So very, very nice, handy feature on both of these phones. iPhone 13 mini has IP68 dust and water resistance. Z Flip 3, IPX8 water resistance, so no dust resistant there. But you can dunk it in water for 1.5 meters for 30 minutes on the Samsung, 6 meters for 30 minutes on the iPhone 13 mini. Both of these are fair to say they are great with water. Now for the display, that's another thing that we're going to talk about that's very different about these. The 13 mini has a 5.4 inch display, but you get a lot of real estate on that front screen, 85%. The Z Flip 3 is a huge 6.7 inch display when it is unfolded, so you get 85% screen to body ratio. But when it's folded, you also have a cover display. It's a Super AMOLED display at around 2 inches, and it'll give you a lot of information without physically opening the phone. So you get 2 screens in one, basically. 13 mini has 60 Hz refresh rate, while the Z Flip 3 has 120 Hz refresh rate. So you get an overall better screen on the Samsung. Resolution is the same. You're both getting 1080p displays, 476 ppi on the 13 mini, 426 ppi on the Z Flip 3. But you get way more features from the cover display. That's a whole option of the screen. So that's one big bonus of having that foldability. Now for the software, very different software, but very much the same. You got iOS 15 on the 13 mini, Android 11 with Samsung UI on the Flip 3. Both of these are packed with lots of features, but the Z Flip 3 is not a stock version of Android, but it has a lot of features that Samsung has, and a lot of people like it, a lot of people don't. Some prefer stock, while they welcome Samsung's extras that they pack in the device. And both of these will get both of these will get several years of updates. iOS gets them very fast on day one on a yearly schedule. Z Flip 3 will get several updates in the future, but they will be slow on getting those updates. For internal storage, both of these start off at 128 gigs, which is more than enough for everybody. 4 gigs of RAM on the 13 mini, 8 gigs of RAM in the Flip 3. Both of these amounts of RAM are good for their respective phones. And neither of these have expandable storage, but that's okay. Now for the camera situation. Both of these phones have two 12 megapixel shooters for their main camera, and then they have the other camera as a ultra wide, and both shoot at 4K. It's safe to say that the cameras on both of these devices are very, very nice. They'll take great pictures and videos, and even at night, they're all around great shooters. People should be impressed by both of these and very, very happy. Selfie cameras are great on both as well. 13 mini has 12 megapixel selfie camera versus the 10 megapixels on the Samsung. They both shoot in 4K, very nice selfies. Both have stereo speakers. Neither of these have headphone jacks, but both have Bluetooth. You got 5.0 on the iPhone, 5.1 on the Galaxy Z Flip 3. And both of these phones, Bluetooth will connect to your speakers, to your smartwatch, to your wireless headphones, no problem. Both have NFC for payments. iPhone 13 mini still has the Lightning port. Z Flip 3 rocking the Type-C port for charging, for unlocking and security. Face ID on the 13 mini. You got the side-mounted fingerprint reader on the Z Flip 3. Both of these methods are great fast ways to unlock your device. Now for the battery, the 13 mini is a smaller phone, and it overall has a small battery, but it has improved from the iPhone 12 mini battery. And then iOS 15 offers lots of improved battery life as well. So I suspect you're gonna get through most of the day with the iPhone 13 mini. Z Flip 3 also has kind of a battery problem, but let me explain. It has a small, by Android standards, 3,300 milliamp battery. But remember that this is a folding phone, so when it is closed, you're not using a lot of battery because it's not using the full screen. You're using the covered front screen, which is way smaller and doesn't show as many, doesn't waste as much battery. But if you're using that 120 hertz display, then yeah, that might take away a lot of battery life. But I say it's a tough call. But battery life is not going to be a strong suit on either of these devices. It's not going to be one of the features of these phones, that's for sure. But both of these do offer fast charging, so that'll remedy most of the problem. 20 watts on the 13 mini, 15 watts on the Flip 3. And you have MagSafe wireless charging on the 13 mini. You have fast wireless charging at 10 watts on the Flip 3 and reverse wireless charging. So you have a lot of charging options on the Z Flip 3. So I gave you all the specs between both of these devices. You pretty much know everything that you're going to get with these, but what do they all mean? What do they translate to? Well, these are two very special different devices for different people. The 13 mini is for people that don't want any compromises, but they still want a smaller phone. And it comes actually at a cheaper price. It's the cheapest 5G phone in the 13 lineup. So you're getting, pretty much everything you need in a smaller package, but you are sacrificing some battery life, although Apple is trying its best to keep up with, giving it some extra juice with iOS 15 and a physical bigger battery. While the Z Flip 3, it saves you a lot of space without compromising a big screen. You got a 6.7-inch display when it's open, but when it's closed and you want to put it in your pocket, it fits there way better, and it's a lightweight device as well. And it keeps all the other flagship qualities that a modern 5G phone should have. So with those two things out of the way, The iPhone 13 mini is kind of an expensive device, even though it's the cheapest iPhone 13 out there. The Z Flip 3 for $1,000 is kind of a hard pill to swallow, but you can get this phone for $600. In this case, I really think, unless you like iOS and FaceTime and iMessage, FaceTime, AirDrop, and iMovie, if you don't really use those type of services or apps that are iOS only, the Z Flip 3 will be the phone to get at $600, and it's no contract, so there's no credit check, there's none of that. They offer very cheap plans. It's only available on Boost, but I think it's still, for $600, you got a foldable phone with all the great specs. And if you're not into the iOS ecosystem, this makes this a great device. It has a great camera, has a foldable feature. It's just cool to flip open your phone. It has that extra display that serves and gives you a lot of information. It has a great camera. It has that really nice refresh rate on the screen. Pretty much everything about it is like a flagship phone by itself. It's just a very cool feature for a cheaper price than the iPhone 13 mini. There's not a lot of phones out there that could beat a brand new iPhone, but I think the Z Flip 3 has that one covered. It's at that $600 price point. At $1,000, yeah, probably I'd rather recommend the iPhone 13 mini. But yeah, for $600, the Flip 3 is the most awesome phone you could probably get, and it has that wow factor. So thanks guys for watching. I appreciate if you subscribe. I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers. This is my hobby. I love these comparisons. I love cell phones and technology, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.